Hey, everybody, welcome to the Sky Lounge podcast, episode number 271. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Follow me at the Sky Lounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Podcast, and also check out the Sky Lounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And without any further ado, let's get shit started with episode number 271, dominating the battle of mental Mahjong and athletics, sports monogamy, payoff. And boys and girls, over the weekend, sports monogamy did pay off for me. And it starts in the Woke League of Chinese basketball, where in the Western Conference Final, Game 2, the LA Lakers took on the Denver Nuggets. And while in the first half, the Lakers to be pretty dominating, second half, third quarter, just kind of lessened out. And by the fourth quarter, you have Nikola Jokic just carrying the fucking team on his back, trying to will his team into a win. And they could have damn near done it. 2.1 seconds left. Lakers are down 102 to 103, and Rajon Rondo is in the ball. Why? Well, before that, about 10 seconds or so left in the game, Alex Caruso misses a wide open three, and Denver isn't able to get the rebound. The Lakers do. Now, when they get the rebound, Danny Green tries to put up a shot that Jamal Murray blocks. But while Jamal Murray is blocking the ball, he takes it out of bounds, and the ball is given to the Lakers. So, again, Rajon Rondo inbounding the ball, bounce pass straight to AD. And Plumlee, I don't really know what he was doing. Maybe he was supposed to assume that Rajon Rondo threw it over, not under. I don't know. But it left AD wide open. And as soon as AD releases the shot, you see Nikola Jokic, who was trying to distract Rajon Rondo from throwing the ball in proper, he makes a step into trying to block AD's shot. And Jokic was that fucking close. I mean, he was just a fingertip away from touching that ball and AD missing a potential buzzer beater three. But Anthony Davis, buzzer beater, game-winning three, sinks the Denver Nuggets in Game 2, 105 to 103. And as hyped as I am about the ending to that game, as much as I love AD, and boys and girls, I have his jersey right here behind me, because this man has been the MVP of the playoff Lakers as of now, in my opinion. I'm not celebrating just yet. I'm not like Dwight Howard, who's telling the Denver Nuggets to go home. Dwight, I just fucking praised your ass after Game 1. Why are you being arrogant? Do you want to be the fucking Clippers? Do you want to be the goddamn Clippers and just play agitator, get all arrogant, and then get knocked the fuck out? Stop it. Give your respect to the Denver Nuggets, because these motherfuckers do not know when to quit. They will claw back at you. Watch Wednesday evening. Is it Tuesday? Wednesday is the goddamn Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. I'm getting ahead of myself. But on Tuesday, man, these guys are going to come at us. Come at the Lakers. And you don't think that quote is going to just reverb and just fucking reiterate itself to everybody in that locker room in the Nuggets? Come on, man. Don't give them motivation. Don't give them extra reason to fight harder. Put them while they're down. I'm telling you, Lakers, you're up 2-0 in this series right now. Do not make it a 2-1 series. Do not make it a 2-2 series. Don't even make it a 3-1 series. That is the most dangerous fucking thing you could do. What you need to do in Game 3 is just dominate from start to finish. Make sure the game dies at the end of the third quarter. That's what you need to do. And I hope that happens. I really do. If it's a sweep, I'll be ecstatic. I really will be, because this Denver Nuggets team, I'm not counting them out at all. I still think the series goes to 6, and you can't count these guys out. You really can't. I mean, Joker is absolutely phenomenal. You got Jamal Murray, who is just this automatic shooting machine now, and I hate it. I don't like Jamal Murray, but I give credit where it's due. And yeah, I mean, even though he's my opponent, Jamal Murray is a cut, which I don't care for, but I respect him. Yet I consider Nikola Jokic my new best friend for what he did to the Clippers, and he will always be my new best friend because of that shit. But hey, Lakers are up 2-0 in the series, but don't get cocky, kid. Gotta get back to it. Series is continuing on Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that, kids. And in the Eastern Conference Final right now, the Miami Heat lead the series 2-1 against the Boston Celtics, as the Celtics take a win in Game 3, as many of you may recall from the previous episode of me just live commentating the game in the final minute or so. And it's like I talked about in the entitled rant in that episode, where I really thought the Boston Celtics were blowing it. And I think that fourth quarter is a huge indicator of what this Boston Celtics team is actually going to do in the entirety of the series. I think ultimately the Miami Heat will probably win this in 5. And I feel like Game 3 was just a blip and it kind of an accident. Whereas I don't think you've seen the best of this Miami Heat team yet. Jimmy Buckets wasn't having the greatest game in Game 3, but when he has a pretty consistently decent game, it's a world of a difference. And the fact that, man, the Boston Celtics had a pretty commanding lead in this game, and it only trickled down to one possession, maybe 2 baskets, I don't know. Just kind of embarrassing. And I just do not buy into this Boston Celtics hype anymore. I don't. I think this squad is a sham in terms of being a finalist. And I think the better team in Miami is going to come out a winner. And I'm telling you, man, be on the lookout for Jimmy Buckets going off in Game 3 on Wednesday. And Duncan Robinson is someone that I should have been keeping my eye on, but this guy has been fantastic. And so it's going to be very curious to see how those two teams take care of each other in the Eastern Conference Final. But God damn it, man. All that will eventually segue into the NBA Finals, and we are just going to have a good time, usually. Although viewership rating isn't going to be all that great. And, of course, boys and girls, as you know, I have been very vocal about my disagreement with the woke league of Chinese basketball and their more or less idiotic stance with social justice warrior nonsense. And I still hold to that. I still think that political illiteracy is a tremendous problem, and just relaying misinformation to the general public is a very dangerous thing, and it actually causes more harm than good. So in that sense, I will still berate the athletes. I like a guy like LeBron James. Whenever he says some woke shit, I just fucking want to slap the shit out of him. But as a sport, it's basketball. It's the fucking conference final. Of course, I'm gonna fucking watch because I'm a goddamn Lakers fan, for better or worse. I mean, that's the whole thing with sports monogamy, man. You stick with your fucking team, thick and thin, through thick and thin. Sometimes phrasing is weird. I guess just not born in America makes it so. But besides weird fucking talks aside, sports monogamy is definitely real for me. You know, you stick to your one team and one sport, and even if it means heartbreaking loss, you got to deal with that shit. And the Lakers, I mean, we've been dealing with some shit over the last few years, just mediocrity and all that, but here we are. The Western Conference Final, hoping to get to NBA Final. And, you know, I wish I had similar hopes and optimism. Vegas Golden Knights, but, you know, they're dead. they got killed in the Western Conference Final, so it is what it is. But the team who killed them in the Dallas Stars took on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final in the National Hockey League. And wow, in Game 1, the Dallas Stars took a 4-1 win against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, one of those goals was an empty netter. Understandable. But on the backs of Anton Khudobin, this Dallas Stars team is going to win the cup. I'm saying it right now. This Dallas Stars team is going to win the goddamn cup. Anton Hudobin is a man possessed. This man is in another fucking zone. And I feel like maybe, just maybe, the only game the Tampa Bay Lightning may get a win, may get a little edge on, is that back-to-back fixture, I believe, for Game 5 between Friday and Saturday. Because Anton Hudobin is just, he's just destroying this team in the dick. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dallas Stars just come out with a 4-1 series win. And I know a lot of Vegas fans are going to just shit on the fucking Dallas Stars. But personally, I can't do it. Personally, I just can't do it. I love the city of Dallas. Dallas sports, they're all right in my book. As a Lakers fan, I don't really hate the Mavs. Not really. And the only team we should really hate on is the Celtics. Seahawks fan, I don't really hate the Cowboys. I respect them. I mean, I truly do believe Tom Landry is one of the most underlooked, undervalued, underrated coaches in NFL history. He's one of my favorites. And the Dallas Stars. I mean, stadium's great. Crowd's great in the American Airlines Center, and very good team overall. And the fact that they humbled the Vegas Golden Knights and the fan base, I feel like I owe them a thank you. And it's just a likable squad, man. It feels exactly like the St. Louis Blues, where, yeah, you have that replacement coach who, by the way, that was back in what, like December? November-ish? So very similar, where you have a backup goaltender, or, seemingly backup goaltender, taking this magical role and just going with it. And I think the Dallas Stars can absolutely hoist the cup at the end. And you know what? When I see that moment, Jamie Benn lifting up the Stanley Cup and skating around an empty arena, I will be very happy for the Dallas Stars fan base. But it's still a series. This is just my guess. It's just my opinion. I don't want to fucking jinx people and all that shit. But I really do think the Dallas Stars have what it takes to win the cup. Now, I could be completely wrong. And John Cooper and the gang comes back with furious vengeance and just crazy anger. I forgot the actual quote from Pulp Fiction, so you have to forgive me. But Anton Hudobin, Conn Smythe, putting it out there in the universe, motherfuckers. Putting it out there in the universe. And who's also been put out is a cunt in Houston. Not Houston. And this is where we talk about Major League Baseball. Houston Astros pitcher Justin Verlander needs Tommy John surgery and will most likely miss the 2021 season. Now, I'm not being an asshole and saying getting injured is good. It sucks. Getting injured sucks. Getting any kind of bodily injury, not great. But simultaneously, I don't care. I don't care Justin Verlander is injured. I just do not care. You're a fucking cheater. You're out. You're out. Great. I don't have to think about you and your shit-ass squad. So, bye-bye. Bye-bye. You're fucking hard. Shut up. Shut up. Jesus Christ. Defending cheaters. I swear to God, this is the society we live in. We fucking cheer for cheaters and goddamn criminals. Justin Verlander's the greatest pitcher. He's also a fucking cheater. Jacob Blake says he's a fucking rapist. Barack Obama's a great president. He's a fucking pedophile and a goddamn piece of shit, but okay, all right. You're still cynical. You're like all over the fucking place. Well, be glad I'm not a fucking Detroit fan, because I'd probably be more fucking cynical if I was. Because yes, the Detroit Tigers manager Ron Gardenhire, is that his name? Gardenhire? Is that how you fucking pronounce it? Or is it Gardenhire? Some fucking crazy ass pronunciation shit. But Ron Gardenhire retires amidst health concerns, and Lions and Tigers and Pistons. Oh my. What isn't depressing in Detroit? I mean, you can argue the Red Wings, right? I mean, they're supposed to tank and get this rebuild with Stevie Y, and it's all part of the long-term plan, but potentially be in that little lineup of depression. But yeah, I'd rather not be a Detroit fan because that fucking poison chalice of cynicism sounds like I could die from that shit. But there are certain teams right now that are jumping out of the well of cynicism and into the playoffs, like the San Diego Padres. Whoa, clinching a playoff spot. Would you look at that? Little brother finally fucking made it. Good job, San Diego. Why don't you fucking do something about it then in the goddamn postseason? Yeah, fucking Dodgers, shut up. I know what the Dodgers do. I know they fucking choke. God damn it. Don't fucking remind me. Don't constantly remind me of this fucking flaws of this franchise, the Dodgers. We still like laughing at our NOS little brothers. We do. But hey, we got other teams over here in the AL clinching their playoff spot. You got the Minnesota Twins and the New York Yankees. Gross. Really, Orioles, you couldn't even try. No. Blue Jays, nothing. No. Let a completely hospital ward injured New York Yankees team just go through. All right. Okay. Thanks. What a joke. That division's a fucking joke. I mean, of course, the Boston Red Sox doesn't help the matter, as they've been sucking ass, but such is the way of life in Major League Baseball. But in the world of football, not similar, of course. I mean, you don't have the playoff format, but you do have football going on all over, almost every country right now. And in England in particular, it's unfortunate that one player is set to miss this fun endeavor that's starting up in the Premier League, and that is Manchester City Sergio Aguero. He could miss more than 2 months with a long-term layoff from his injury in June, and that's not even going to fucking put a dampener on the Manchester City squad because they're loaded. They're fucking loaded. I mean, their front four today in their match against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Kevin De Bruyne, and Phil Foden. They're fine. They're going to be fine without Sergio Aguero. They can still score. As long as you have Kevin De Bruyne in the engine room as arguably the best midfielder in the Premier League right now, you're going to be fine. But there are other clubs seeming to bolster their roster to this level of Manchester City and Liverpool, for they have been really the ideal clubs in terms of competitive level that you want to be at. So you got Tottenham splurging on players, which, okay. Regulian, Rigamortis, left back from Real Madrid for 30 million euros. Okay, all right. You just signed Gareth Bale to a season-long loan, and he's going to be sidelined until October, but okay. That should be a good time for Tottenham. Oh, we're the best fucking man they be. Fucking jackass. Jackass club. What the fuck is the deal with that club? Why the fuck do Arsenal fans have to deal with this fucking peasantry nonsense from Tottenham? Why do they always talk when they haven't won shit? This is the whole thing with Tottenham fans. I'm like, where do you motherfuckers get the balls? It's the same thing with the Clippers. It's like, what the fuck? I'm a Lakers fan, bro. Why are you talking shit? You fucking peasant. I swear to God, you fucking peasant fans just make me laugh so hard. You haven't won shit and you talk shit. You can't talk trash and be trash. That's the rules, man. That's the fucking rules. And here's the thing. Liverpool can talk trash because they won over the last 2 years. Albeit, yeah, I mean, 1 cup per season, which, I'm not complaining about too much, but there you go. But Liverpool, go ahead and sign Diogo Jota from Wolverhampton Wanderers for around £41 million. Good, but does that impress me right now? It's more like, show me the results of that. Show me what you're going to do with that shit. Because Liverpool is Liverpool. Are they going to get better, stay the same, or decline? My money's kind of on between the second and third. Like, you're kind of there, but you're going to kind of decline because their teams are getting good. But Maybe that's just my fan bias kicking in. Because I am an Arsenal supporter, kids. I am an Arsenal supporter. And Arsenal signed backup goalie Runar Alex Runarsson. It's a very confusing name, but a very Icelandic name. But he comes from Dijon for around £1.5 million. And Runarsson has already worked with Arsenal goalkeeper coach Inaki Kana. So that should be an easier transition for the lad during things like the Cup run or in Europa League matches. So in my eyes, this is a really solid, super cheap replacement for Emi Martinez. And for that price, I mean, for what you're getting is kind of brilliant. I mean, you have fans of Arsenal right now clamoring and crying about how we let go of Emi Martinez. Bernardino isn't the better goal saver. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you fucking dipshit? Calm the fuck down. All right. It's not like this club is like Manchester City or Liverpool where you can just throw money willy-nilly and buy players and have no repercussions whatsoever. This is Arsenal. Our club is cheap, and sometimes we got to scrape by. And hey, Runarsson might be a fucking bang deal, man. £1.5 million. If he gets a couple of clean sheets and pivotal wins here and there, that's all right by me. But what the fuck do you expect from a Stan Kroenke run club? Come on, man. The only fucking money that old fuck is going to spend on is his fucking Rams. He's not going to spend the goddamn money on the Avalanche. He's not going to fucking spend the money on goddamn the Denver Nuggets. He's only going to spend it on the goddamn Rams. And this fucking Rams team just decided to extend Robert Woods to a 4-year extension worth $65 million. And yeah, I don't really give a shit about the Rams. NFC West rivals. I don't care for them. I don't like them. And we just know that this division in the NFC West is going to be a fucking headache all season long. But competition, baby. Competition. That's what it's all about. And speaking of competition, Las Vegas will be hosting their first ever NFL game as the Las Vegas Raiders are set to kick off against the New Orleans Saints here this evening around 5 o'clock. And because my house is still a couple minutes away from the stadium, I'm not going to really feel the full repercussions of the crowd and the level, but Vegas has been buzzing. The city, Raiders Nation, I mean, you're seeing them everywhere and anywhere in the streets right now, and you know, I'm happy for those fans. I'm happy for the city. We're growing in terms of sports. I mean, of course, we have the Vegas Golden Knights, now the Las Vegas Raiders. We also have the Las Vegas Aces with season MVP and Asia Wilson. We also have the Henderson Silver Knights, the Las Vegas Lights FC, and the Las Vegas Aviators minor league baseball club to the Oakland A's. So city is growing in the realm of sports, but I got to tell you, as a Seattle Seahawks fan, Raiders being here, not going to switch allegiances. That's not how sports monogamy works, motherfucker. All right? Just because it's convenient doesn't mean you're going to fucking switch up. That's some easy childish shit. Sports monogamy is hard. It's challenging. It's a fucking dick punch. But ultimately, I'll tell you this, kids. On a weekend where the Lakers, Arsenal, and the Seahawks all win, I'm having a good time. But all I can tell you is I wish some of my goddamn bets went through. But it's going to be a good fucking weekend for sports, man. And just general week and month of sports. Is once we trickle into October, it's the most wonderful time of the year. All the sports ball is just all up in your face. It's beautiful. It's great. Can't wait. Can't wait. Although hockey's going to be over before October, which is so weird because I'm so used to hockey starting in October. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Indeed. But on the next episode of the Sky Lounge, we're going to go ahead and go through Piggy Skin picks for week 2, and that will do it for me here, ladies and gentlemen. All right? All right, motherfuckers, I appreciate you dropping by this episode. Follow me at The Sky Lounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Podcasts, and also check out The Sky Lounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Until next time, kids, fuck off.